Okay, you guys asked for this. You really did. I was just gonna leave it alone, but since so many people just keep asking me, what the heck happened with Jumex? Why were you going back and forth with Jumex on Instagram? I guess I have to make a video and explain everything that went on. And I hear what you're saying, don't give the guy any more attention or clout, and to be honest with you, I really don't think I am, because if you look at his recent numbers on songs, he's not getting any attention or clout whatsoever, as hard as he's trying. I promise you after this, we're gonna leave it alone. It will be the end of the Jumex story. I know everybody's like, stop making these videos, there's too many Jumex videos, but this is just me explaining my situation with him in a similar way to the little slump stuff. Now to start this video off, we have to go back to the first video that I made. Now I had a couple interactions with Jumex in the past. Of course I heard about his whole progress stuff, I had heard about everything that went on with him, the drama through 2020, the little Xan stuff, the little Saku stuff, and then after a while I just kind of forgot about the guy. There's been many clout chasing rappers that have come onto the internet, disappeared, come back a couple years later and been more humble. Like Kid Boo's more humble nowadays, Kid Trunks is more humble nowadays. So I figured with a couple years of reflection, you know, he's 24 years old, give or take around now. He might be a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more willing to be retrospective on his whole life and career. But I start making videos, I become aware of him again, and then when I look at his stories, he's posting absolutely deranged cope about how everybody else tried to mess him up and people tell the fake stories and he has the real story and blah 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 blah. And at the time I'm covering all the Saku stuff, I'm not really covering a whole lot of Jumex stuff, but people keep saying you should make a video on him, I think it'd be interesting. So my idea going into that video would be I would cover all the stuff before he was famous and after he was famous, look at the parts that people don't really talk about, and instead of honing in on the fact that he's an industry plant like everybody else likes to do, I like to hone in on the fact that he has a huge ego.
Нет.
There's been tons of industry plants that have made it, there's been no problem. Billie Eilish, Kid Laroi, all these people are able to do what they need to do to get themselves in the industry, and they were planted by a label. And the only reason that Jumex's career fell apart the way that it did was because he was so deranged, but I never realized how deranged he was. So you know the story at this point, I make my video, he leaves a couple comments, gets mad at me, we go back and forth, you know, just a little bit of fun here and there. But the real spark of this beef in quotations is when I was sent the Zane Peep video. So I was sent that by somebody else, I got all the information from that video, and then I left a couple comments saying, you know, hit me up, maybe we can make a video together, because he had brought a bunch of information that I didn't know previously, and all I really wanted to do was stick together the story. And of course there was one mention of Jumex doing some stuff with underage people, and in Zane Peep's video he was mentioning a lot about how Lil Saku was such a victim in the situation and that Jumex was the big bad evil guy. So when I talked to him, I wanted to explain that, you know, Saku's also a bad guy and these could be true, they could be not true, but you know, if a real victim isn't going to step forward, we probably shouldn't take anything from Saku because she has her own crimes. And that's basically what the point of that video was supposed to be. But before I even got the chance to make that video, something else happened. So I'm really not sure how this is the way that it is. Maybe it's because Jumex is subscribed to me or he follows everything I do, I'm not really sure. This video was up for about a month, it had 800 views, it wasn't doing that well. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a viral video by any means. But as soon as I comment on it, somehow Jumex discovers it and starts going back and forth with Zane Peep saying, I'm gonna sue you, this is slander, blah blah blah. He starts posting all these videos on his story that I can show you right here.
Yo, what's up guys? I see a lot of YouTube videos about me and that's fine, but when I see the false accusations, that's not fine, and it hurts my rep, and it really does a lot to, you know, ruin an artist, and it's not good. It's actually up. You guys are ruining people's reputations over fake propaganda. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start suing for defamation. Ronnie Radke sued a fan for defamation and he won and got money. Guys, this isn't funny, bro. I'm going to show you I do not around. Unless you want your family to get sued, don't make false accusations. And this is something I've been waiting. I knew someone was gonna do it. I'm just waiting, and this is the right person, and he's gonna be a good example, not the with me. So be prepared to have that legal. Like, the progress video was fine because that was just information about me, you know what I mean? But when you make false accusations, like, bro, that's not even funny, bro. Like, that's why I'm taking action right now. I'm talking to my family, I'm talking to my team. I'm gonna get this shit situated, and it's not gonna happen again, bro. People think it's funny, but I'll do whatever it takes to get you know what I mean? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you put this out in the world, you're gonna get it back, bro.
Except for when we both start rapping.
He's really honing in on the fact that Zane Peep is slandering him, but the weirdest thing about this whole situation is this video wasn't getting that many views in the first place. It was kind of minor, you know, I watched it and there was probably a little bit more to come from it, but the fact that you're blasting it all over your story and talking about how people are calling you that while most people haven't even seen the video, like, wouldn't you think if somebody made a video about you like that, you would kind of want to go behind the scenes and try to talk to them or get it taken down in a different way?
Did you hear me? Hey, take him off. I'm
I mean, there's no real reason to take it down because it's all allegations and they're not that serious in the first place. Hey, it's Editing Twisted here, and I have to say I don't know why I said it like that, because obviously accusations like that are definitely very serious. It probably doesn't get more serious than that. All I'm trying to say is that it's just a bunch of comments on his Instagram from 2 years ago. There's not really anybody coming out against him, so there's not a whole lot of evidence. Should be pretty easy to disprove. That's kind of what I was trying to say, but I said it in a very weird way, so sorry about that. No, Jumex is on his story just, talking all sad and just being like, like I'm a pretty humble guy, but when people make allegations, that's when I can't take it. Meanwhile, this absolute nut job is going back and forth with Zane Peep, in his comment section saying, you're slandering me, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue you for slander, I'm gonna sue you. And I know a lot of people will probably have sympathy for him because after all, we're the drama YouTubers, we're bringing drama to his life, and who wouldn't be upset about getting allegations like that thrown at him? But the thing is, those allegations were already out, they're already public, a lot of people already knew about him. Maybe Zane Peep shouldn't have done it in the way that he did it, but the video was out, it wasn't getting that many views, they're going back and forth, and Jumex was honestly only getting it more attention by doing this, but it is what it is. But then Jumex hops into my DMs and starts talking to me, being like, bro, you better not make a video, I'm gonna sue the shit out of you as well. I haven't even made a video at this point, and I know he saw my comments, so he's like, oh, this guy's gonna call me a Pedro, but I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I start trolling him a little bit here, and I know a lot of people are like, dude, aren't you afraid that you're gonna get sued for slander? Well, what we did was not slander in any way. Let me explain slander to you. This is how it works. There are two main things in a case of slander that you really have to prove: that I caused irreparable damage to your reputation, and the hardest of the two, that I knowingly put out information that I knew was false just to hurt your reputation. On the first count, that's impossible because Jumex is already an internet figure. All I did was reshare these allegations from other people, didn't come up with them myself, and your reputation's already pretty bad, and once you're an internet figure, it's very hard to prove that anyone can slander you whatsoever because of course the entire internet is commenting on you 24/7. And second of all, knowingly putting out false information just to hurt his career, well, that wasn't my information to put out in the first place. We don't know if it's true or false, and I didn't put it out in the way that it's like, Jumex is for sure this thing. I didn't make the claims. This is because allegedly Jumex was getting really high on Xanax and going into his underage fans' DMs and starting to sex with them, apparently sending dick pictures. All of this is alleged. I'm not sure if it's true. It's not for me to say if it is or isn't, but all I'm saying is that this started a scandal with everybody commenting on his pictures, calling him a Pedro.
Mark's just standing in a f***ing bush.
Bro. I wish I could date 9-year-old.
Now, I do think this is a joke, so if I didn't make the claim, I can't be slandering you with that claim. A news organization is not able to be sued if they put out a claim that somebody else made. It's just the way it works. If this somehow went to court, we would both get laughed out of court. They'd be like, what the absolute heck? And when you see what Jumex is doing a little bit later, you're going to see why there's absolutely no way that he would possibly be able to do that in the first place. Because me and Juju go back and forth in the DMs for a little bit. I'm trolling him. I'm asking if he wants to make out when we get to court. He just kept saying, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. It's pretty funny. I'm gonna get your money, just going to range, going crazy. But I'm like, bro, it's good. I don't really care about you. I only really care about the Saku story, and that's true. I only really want to cover that. But since you're being so deranged, kind of funny, I'll talk to you, go back and forth. But overall, I'm not really too concerned about what's going on with you. And apparently he really liked that because he ended up following me, and then he just completely left me alone after that. So then I finished my video up where I mentioned the allegations about Jumex and why Saku's not to be trusted. And it's a pretty small part in the video overall. And I say we don't know if it's true or not, but Jumex doesn't want that out there one way or another. So I didn't put the video on premiere because I didn't want him preemptively freaking out on Instagram before the video even came out, even though that probably would have just given it more attention. But I was like, you know what, I want to wait and let it drop when it drops, and then everybody can talk about the video when it actually comes out. I had a surgery coming up the next day, and that's not me saying everyone needs to leave me alone because I'm having surgery. I was actually going to wait to put the video out after I had surgery, but because he was starting to freak out my DMs and go crazy, I'm like, well, I better get on top of this now before it becomes a whole huge situation and I have to make a whole new video on it. That's what I did, went and got my surgery. I posted that I had to get surgery, and then Jumex, when I came back, had a nice little message for me saying that he hopes I don't wake up in surgery, and he's still freaking out saying he's going to sue me, blah, 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 blah. After that, his brother or him or somebody starts calling my number over and over again, trying to threaten me. They also called King's number for some really weird reason. I guess because King left a comment on my post, they decided to hit him up and be like, yo, we're going to kill you. They're calling him, saying they're going to roll up to his house, and it's like, dude, I'm not going to say too much, but look at King and then look at Jumex. And also, I'm pretty sure this guy is Jumex's brother. This polio-ridden corpse cannot do anything against anybody, let alone King. But at the end of the day, we're talking about internet drama here. I don't know why they're trying to take it into real life, but even worse than that, he ends up doxing Zane Peep, or at least doxing his dad, and it's like, bro, what are you doing at this point?
You don't know what you fucking mess with, stupid I texted him and I'm texting you. I'm gonna for both of you guys. Do you not? Oh my god, you don't understand, bro. I'm gonna get so many lawyers and I'm gonna sue the You want to play this game? You want to talk shit about shit that's false accusations? You opened up a whole fucking hell, bro. I hope you know that, bro. I'm gonna life over. Nah, bro. I'm not. I'm gonna you over. I swear to God, bro. Cause you started this shit, motherfucker. And now it's spreading for no reason. So I'm fucking over everybody. Watch, Zane. I'm gonna you up. You better do what you can to take down that video. If you don't want to get fucked, Zane, literally strike that video. You better have all your friends take that shit down, strike it, do what you can, and say, hey, I don't want my name off of there. Cause if your name's on there, then I'm suing you. I'm suing him, dude. I don't give a bro. You better do what you can to get that strike off and get that video off. Because if you don't, I'm gonna do what I can too. So the sooner the better, bro. What you can do, the sooner the better. Cause I'm starting this shit right now, bro.
And because of that, he's able to threaten Zane Peep enough to take the video down, and then he's trying to do the same for me, but I'm like, whatever, I just blocked the number. We have a little bit of a conversation back and forth, and then it seems like it might be over, but the very next day I wake up and all of a sudden my Instagram account is at 7,000 followers as opposed to 5,000. And this is really strange because when I was going back and forth with Lil Slump, something similar to this happened where I started to get posted on a bunch of these bot accounts. Like they were posting pictures of my cat, they were posting pictures of everything, but it wasn't a follower jump like this, so I'm like, somebody just bought at my account. I have no idea how to get rid of all these extra followers. I tried to go in there and try to get them to unfollow me, but I can't tell which ones are the bots and which ones are the real people, so I'm like, well, whatever, I don't know what to do at this point. And then I'm thinking in my head, did Jumex bot my account? How would that help him out whatsoever? Why would you spend money to give me more followers? I didn't get it. It was super weird. But then like 30 minutes later, he posted on his story saying, this guy bought at his account, now I'm gonna do a video on him. And then he also calls me Pedro, which is pretty funny overall, because the fact that you're calling me that means you're actually slandering me. You know, if we're gonna take it to that stupid little realm, you would be slandering me because you're actually making the claim that I'm that with no evidence whatsoever. So I actually responded to this and I'm like, thank you, best friend, for botting my account. Like I don't get the point of this, like buying followers for me and then trying to out me that I got bought at followers. Super weird. And I kind of thought he was going to do it a second time to be like, look, he really did it, but he didn't. And then the most deranged thing that he did that made me just not want to interact with him anymore was the fact that he went to each of my followers one by one and said, I'm going to sue this guy. What's your interaction with him? How do you know him? Blah, blah, blah. Most of my followers didn't really say anything to him, but he ended up doing this doctored screenshot where basically this random girl that I supposedly went to high school with said like, oh, I went to high school with him and he was a creep, da da da. I'm not gonna lie, Jumex really got me with that one. He actually tricked me. He's quite the goofster, he's quite the gaffster, he's quite the memer, because I actually believed it was true, and then I was like, what the why are people talking about me that I don't even know? I'm not gonna mention who this person is whatsoever. I ended up talking to them and they're like, I've never interacted with that person whatsoever. We never went to high school together. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So it was a completely made up conversation that he just doctored. And honestly, at this point, I'm like, you know what? We've had our fun. We've had our back and forth. To me, it was kind of like, I felt like Jumex really wanted me to interact with him. Like, it was like, don't do it, but he kind of wanted me to for a little bit of drama, get us both attention. I didn't really think that he was as upset as he was really making it out to be, because like, dude, this is really overblown. But you know, if he's willing to go to each of my followers one by one and being like, how do you know this guy? It's just not worth it at the end of the day. I'm like, whatever. I delete all my stories. I'm like, we're just gonna move on from Jumex. And another one of my friends mentioned that every time that he called me out, he also tried to promo his song at the same time. So they were saying like, yeah, he's basically just using this back and forth as a way to try to get a little bit more clout, which is crazy to me because I really don't have any clout whatsoever. Like, I'm a pretty low tier YouTuber in the grand scheme of things, but I guess Jumex and me are kind of on the same level at this point because he's kind of fallen off and I'm kind of on the rise, I guess I would say, even as cringy as that sounds. But yeah, that's basically how me and Jumex interacted after that video, and this probably will be the last Jumex video. I'm probably just gonna block the guy after this because as funny and fun as it is, I don't really want him coming after me this crazy, and you know, I feel like he just needs to move on. He's been watching Over the Hedge on his live stream and that's been pretty cool for his fans. They really love it. He's got a bunch of 17-year-olds around him that are really gassing him up. Super cool stuff there. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for them. I feel like that's not the best life choice for them to make, but you know, it's not for me to say. And it just tells me more and more that the emo rap genre was really a fun time for a lot of us. We really have a lot of nostalgia there, but it needs to come to an end because there's so many people around Jumex just trying to get clout out of him, and it's like, dude, he doesn't have any clout to give. Like, you just gotta let it go. You can't be in your mid-20s, you know, being on your emo boy rockstar shit. But the weirdest thing about this whole situation is I tried to ask him about Saku, and you would think that he would be like, you know what, like, Saku slandered me in the past, maybe I should actually say something about it to get this off my back. I know it's old drama, I know I'm bringing up old drama, and I really need to let it go, and I will. But you know, if some deranged weirdo called me that, I would probably want to, you know, out them and say like, you know, it's not true, or try to say that it's not true in any way. Just for a little bit of side content, he hit up Lil Xan to do a fight with him. He didn't answer him, and then after that, for some reason, he called out Lil Lotus and the rest of the boyfriends on his story. He basically said they used to rock with him before they knew he had a deal, and then after he got a deal, they stopped rocking with with him? Like, did you guys ever interact in the first place? But to be honest with you, Lil Lotus was a dick to me as well, so Jumex were on the same side with that one.
To make an announcement, the only person who didn't talk shit about me was Shinigami. During my peak, everybody was hating on me. They're like, yo, we came out of nowhere and he has a team, blah, 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 this, that. Because it's funny because Lil Lotus, Smart Death, all those underground people, they were fucking with me until I had a team. And then they're like, wait, I worked so hard to get here and this little kid passed me up. Like, bro, they're so rotten, bro. And it's like, so shitty, bro. So everybody follow Shinigami because that's the only dude who actually showed me respect and love during my peak and moment. And you know what I mean? I really respect that. There till this day, I remember that. And I'll just acknowledge that, bro. I appreciate you.
And honestly, by the end of this, I feel like me and Jumex are going to become best buddies, best friends of a lifetime. We're going to make content together. We're going to have a podcast together called Juicebox and Twisted, I don't know. Juicebox and Twisty Nips, there you go. That's the new podcast, patenting it now.
Over the head, my boy.
Now, the Jumex saga never ends, and next time one of you YouTubers makes a story about the whole Jumex saga, you gotta mention me. I'm part of the lore now. Sorry, I'm here. But with all that said, hopefully this is the last video I make like this. I mean, overall, it's kind of funny. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit of back and forth online. It's not that serious, but, you know, I don't really want to do a whole lot of Instagram antics at this point. If you guys want to interact with me on Discord, probably. I need to get a little bit less terminally online and stop getting myself into these situations. But for all you guys who supported me, it really means a lot. I'm never going to treat you guys the same way like Jumex treats his own fans. Even though it's weird to call you guys fans, it's more like subscribers or like, I don't know what to call you. Knife gang brother, I guess that's what it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. We just got to 13k. We're almost to 14k. I don't know when this video is going to come out. I don't think I'm going to drop it right away after I'm done recording it. I might sit on it and see what happens for a little bit of time. I got a Patreon. You can throw me a buck there. It really helps out the channel. And I also have a second channel called Twisted Society. So if you want to get music on there, I also do interviews on that channel, and a lot of cool stuff's going on there. Everything's growing, everything's going well. So thank you guys for that. Without you guys, none of this could have happened. And besides that, peace out. Just to add this on at the end, there used to be an artist that worked with Jumex that really helped him out from the start. He did a ton of free work for him, but after a while, he's like, dude, I'm basically doing all of your artwork. Is there any way I could get paid? And then Jumex was like, what the heck? You want to be paid for your work? What the heck is wrong with you? Like, dude, I thought we were friends, and they end up falling out. But then shortly after that, apparently his label stopped paying him royalties, and he was really upset about it, talking about how the music industry chewed him up and spit him out, and how he wasn't getting money off of it anymore. And apparently he got a parking ticket that he couldn't pay off because he expected his label to be able to pay it off. So he started guilt tripping his fans, saying, you gotta stream all my music. He released a bunch of leaked songs onto the SoundCloud account, and he was begging people to stream it, and then he was saying the industry picked him up and spit him out, which is kind of true, I guess. I mean, they definitely planted you, and they definitely could have handled it better, but at the same time, it's also your own fault for being so deranged. And then after that, he said he was only going to be a manager for other artists, and honestly, I do kind of feel a little bit bad for Jumex. I mean, the guy has no formal education, no working experience, so there's no way he's ever going to be able to get like a real job. He's kind of stuck in this forever. He has a face tat, so that definitely hurts him too, but I feel like we're living in a world where it's possible you could get a full-time job, even though I've heard his parents are rich, so probably doesn't even matter. But that's, you know, that's just an allegation that his parents are rich. I don't want to slander him, you know. Man, at this point, should I just put some CSGO surf footage here? I kind of feel like I'm making a Leafy video. But anyways, yeah, I think that's everything to Jumex. That's all the stuff. Just wanted to fit it all in here because I don't want to make another one of these. And if I do, well, sorry guys, but I don't think I will. I really don't think I will. Twisted World out, boys.